Evidence of new strains of bacteria in a lake hidden under an Icelandic glacier far from the sun has revealed how life might thrive in subsurface oceans on the icy moons around Saturn and Jupiter. Our preliminary results reveal new branches of life, said Dr. Gregory Farrant from MEDUS, a governmental research institute based in Iceland. The lake, called Skaftarkatlar, is one of the best places on Earth to study how life might evolve in the isolation of a subterranean ocean on a faraway moon. As it lies beneath an ice sheet 300 meters thick, and its waters have probably never been exposed to the atmosphere. It's tricky to analyze DNA of microbes that are totally new to science because there's no prior knowledge about them, explained Dr. Farrant, who is the lead investigator on an EU-funded research project called Astrolakes. He said, "We're dealing with a lot of unknowns. Currently, the team is studying microorganisms found in 10 precious samples taken from the lake over the last decade. Sampling beneath the glacier is difficult. A pump pulses hot water down to melt the ice in a column, and then a sampler is sent to the bottom, collecting small volumes of sulfur-rich water." So that's pretty crazy. The work is predicated on the idea that underground oceans probably represent our best chance of finding life on other planets. Water-rich jets. NASA's Cassini spacecraft has already detected organic molecules, that building blocks of life, by flying through geysers, spouting hundreds of kilometers above the surface of Enceladus, one of Saturn's icy moons. Europa could potentially have the conditions for life, which is very interesting. By flying through the water-rich jets, the Cassini spacecraft has detected complex organic molecules as well as hydrogen, making Enceladus one of the most potentially habitable environments in the solar system. Using mathematical modeling, Dr. Toby and his team have mapped the thickness of the ice shell on Enceladus as part of the EU-funded ExoWater project. What they have discovered is while Enceladus's hidden ocean lies up to 35 to 40 kilometers underneath the icy surface at the equators, it could be less than 5 kilometers underground at the poles, a distance comparable to the ice caps on Earth. That's much thinner than originally believed and makes a subsurface ocean potentially accessible during future space missions. It also suggests that there may be hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor, which means life. This thinner crust implies that there is a huge heat source at the moon's interior, which may power hydrothermal vents on the floor of this underground ocean, said Dr. Toby. On Earth, life spawns around ocean floor vents, despite the lack of oxygen and searing temperatures, raising the possibility that the same might happen elsewhere in the solar system is really giving me the chills. However, Europa could potentially have the conditions for life. It has an internal heat source in a subsurface ocean that is in contact with rocks, so it pretty much ticks a lot of the boxes. While Enceladus is currently the prime target for astrobiologists looking for alien life, Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is not far behind. Earlier this year, NASA released images taken by its Galileo spacecraft, which showed what appeared to be water vapor plumes spewing from cracks in the surface of Europa. If confirmed, this would further bolster this case for a subsurface ocean on Europa and make it an even more enticing target in the search for alien life. Similar types of metabolisms are expected to occur in both places. Europa presents the condition for life to emerge. The most exciting thing for me is that we might be able to go to Europa in the next 10 or 20 years and collect samples from these plumes. At the moment, NASA is considering a trip back to Enceladus in a proposed mission called Enceladus Life Finder, and to Europa in its Europa Clipper mission. So, if you like this video, then make sure to check this video right here on the terrifying discovery that we just found on Jupiter. Otherwise, giving a thumbs up or a sub would really help us reach a wider audience with the new algorithm. So thank you so much for watching and hope to see you soon. Bye!